Let me tell you a story about a man who lived his life the fullest even when he lived in the poorest part of the city, and who wouldn't stop singing and dancing even when his life was over. I am proud to call this man my grandfather, Maximino Ramirez. Max was born on March 6, 1933 in Santiago, Dominican Republic. He grew up on a coffee farm that his parents owned, which brought good income to the family because in Santiago the economy was mostly based on natural foods like coffee beans. Maximino had 15 brothers and sisters, so his parents needed to have good income to support all those kids. Later in his life, he happily got married to my grandmother, Francisca Guzman, in 1954 when he was 21 and she was 16. His life in Dominican Republic could not have been better. But then, Trujillo became president and took dictatorship of the Dominican Republic. He did not allow any immigrants to come in, nor any immigrants to leave. The economy was struggling, and people wanted to immigrate to America to get a better job and have a better and more happy life, including Maximino Ramirez. In 1959, Trujillo got assassinated, and the people of Dominican Republic were free to immigrate. And my grandpa knew this was the time to go. The U.S. and D.R. had good economic ties with each other and got along very well. Max thought that America was the perfect place because he thought he would be welcome there. He went all by himself, which was a little risky, but he was willing to take that chance so he could have more opportunities and a job to afford to someday bring his family to America. It was risky for him in the U.S. because he settled in Brooklyn, New York, but in that area there was racial discrimination about the people living there, like Maximino. The Irish and the Italians thought that Brooklyn was where all the gangs were because there was a lot of violence. But my grandfather would never be a part of a gang like that. He just liked having fun in a positive way. Brooklyn was just a very poor neighborhood. However, that does not mean that there were negative people there. Maximino was poor, but he had a stable job in an apartment. He worked as a dishwasher in restaurants because he had to take whatever he could get being an immigrant who did not know much English. He was also a cook because the people at the restaurants he worked at realized he was good enough to be a cook as well. He always loved cooking, and this was a great opportunity for him, even if he did not get much money from it. He even cooked a meal for the once famous Henry Kissinger. Through his years in America, he brought his brothers, sisters, and then his wife, and lastly his 2 children from DR. He also had 3 more kids in the U.S. He had the life he wanted in America. Yeah, it was not perfect, but whose life is? He did not really accomplish his American dream of getting a good job, but he did achieve a happy and a better life. And when he did struggle to make money, he was happy to finally be free in America. He still lived his life to the fullest and took advantage of every moment. And even as my aunt drove him to the hospital before he died, after he was dancing all night, Maximino sang the whole way there until his last breath.